Hey guys, Lorena Magana here with NewFilmmakers Los Angeles. Today, I'm talking to filmmakers Ivana Bobic and Rain Li about their new film, In the Night. Let's take a look at a clip from the film. Ladies, why don't you give our viewers a brief synopsis of your film?
So the film is a kind of modern-day love story set in Belgrade, and it happens over one really hot summer's night there.
How did you come up with the concept behind your film?
Well, I'm originally from Belgrade, but I moved to England when I was about 5, so I always kind of imagined that it was this strange place that I needed to explore at some point in my life. And because I never spent so much time there, I started looking at photographers that were working there, young photographers, and I got really inspired by some of their pictures of this really youthful, exciting, kind of vibrant place. And I got in touch with them, and we met and we talked, and I kind of started to come up with some ideas from there, but also through kind of talking to Rain about lots of ideas that really kind of started to take place there.
How did you guys come to work with one another?
Well, I shot Ivana's first short film. And then I also direct, and then when I direct, she's my creative partner. So we get involved in different roles in each other's lives and projects. So the idea is that partnership where I come from cinematography world. That's where I come from, and she come from art directing and then writing. So that together is a great joint venture, and so just creatively we just fit, and none of us really kind of know how and why. It just kind of happened on almost on every project ever since we started working together, the first one.
Is there a difference between shooting fashion films versus short films?
I think it depends on the project. It depends also on the brand. I think sometimes they want it to be very much about the fashion, but I think something that we've tried to do together is to always inject the narrative element into the fashion films, because I think that it's inherently, the language of film is kind of, should be used in that. But
yeah, I think the difference is, I think what you saw in The Night is a very good example, actually, of a short film, but incorporate with some kind of style and fashion and poetry element to it. So it's actually, on this particular case, it is a short film. But with fashion, we go other way around. So obviously style is the most important. But for me, and for us, we both agreed very much on this, is you got to bring that sensibility. And the best way to bring that sensibility is by giving that narrative and giving that atmosphere, and that kind of make clothes more alive.
In your film, the landscape plays such a huge part in propelling the story forward. Was that in the original concept, or did that just happen when you got to Belgrade?
I think it's probably a bit of both, but the script originally didn't have so much dialogue in it anyway, so it was something that I intentionally wanted to do. But I think Belgrade is such an incredible backdrop that you kind of create. That's the really exciting thing about doing stuff on location, is that it's all there and you can feel it, and it kind of has a great atmosphere that I think Rain did an amazing job of really just bringing that out in a really natural way. So,
well, for me, I think that the dialogues are very much written, and as well as much improvised. There's so much chemistry between those two actors, and then it just felt right for certain things. But from an atmospheric point of view, I think it's an absolutely stunning city. It has that old heritage and a new modern energy innovation. So that, and then the whole story is a set American man or a man arriving in Belgrade and as a stranger, as a tourist. So that's pretty much me in a way. And I think you look at the city in that prognosed eye, and to see the city in a very fascinating and beautiful romantic way. Yeah, I think it's a beautiful and romantic city. Yeah, for sure.
What were some of the challenges that you faced?
I think, but there was really good challenges. I think we were really lucky that we had good support from the Serbian Film Commission. So I think we definitely couldn't have done it without them, because we were shooting in a medieval fortress and in tunnels with trains and all sorts of things. But I think one of the funny challenges was trying to do night shoots just all in a row, and you know, it's fairly normal, but in Belgrade it's such a loud city that even when we were doing the technical recce's for the sound, they were saying, you know, it's going to be pretty hard to make this clean sound. But we just went with it, you know. In the background there's all sorts of things. There's always like 5 different songs playing in the background, and you know, that's something that is a natural part of the atmosphere which we wanted to keep. So yeah, that's part of the challenge. And I think there were other things like the swimming pool. We had to use all of our powers of persuasion to keep the water in the pool for 2 weeks. So it got a little bit kind of grungy by that time. But you know, in terms of colour, that was just incredible to have that kind of turquoisey, beautiful, strange colour of a pool. So.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us today.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.